I'm all for having police officers, having peace officers, having people to enforce the law because without somebody to enforce the law, we might as well not even have laws. We might as well not even have justice. So, in that way, in basic principle, of course, I back the blue. And I've also had very pleasant and helpful interactions and been helped significantly by my local sheriff's department. And typically, in my experience, everywhere should just have sheriff's departments because their sheriff is elected. And in my experience, they're much more cool and professional than city police departments. With that being said, I also look like this, so I'll acknowledge that so nobody discounts what I'm saying. But above all else, I'm thinking about why we have laws and that somebody needs to enforce those. But the law of the land, as far as I'm concerned, but as far as everybody's concerned, it's the law of the land, is the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And as a police officer, as a patriot, as any citizen, it's your job to understand what the Constitution says, what rights it affords you, and what it limits you to do to other people, especially when you're a representative of that law of the land. And also, it supersedes all state law, all anything else, every ordinance. The U.S. Constitution is the law above all laws here, like it or not. And I see time and time and time again hundreds of examples of videos of police officers violating that Constitution. And I see state legislators passing laws and cities and other places passing ordinances that violate the Constitution, the law of the land. I see time and time again that police officers are often setting aside what's just and what's fair based on their emotions or what kind of day they're having that day or the fight they had with their wife before they left the house or significant other otherwise if it's a lady cop. I see time and time again police officers being called out to situations that they were not properly trained to handle properly without violence. And then, of course, they do things that most people wouldn't think they should do. Like the vast majority of it is probably things like that where they're in the wrong situation. So I don't agree fully with and nobody really wants to fully get rid of police when they say defund the police. What they mean and what I believe myself actually is reform how that money is both acquired, as far as like quotas and tickets and stuff, but also how it's spent. Instead of buying MRAP, which are basically like tanks and other things that they don't really need and fancy toys, pay for social workers or like make a new kind of job where it's like a police social worker and they have this in some places and it's quite successful. And yeah, clearly there's also problems with like some people are psychopaths that wear a badge, like the guy who got George Floyd, and sometimes there's overlap, they're also racist. It's like there are in every field, but this is a really important field to weed some of that out. But yeah, we need change. We should all agree on that.